suspensions are in from the Pistons-Hornets fight the other day. This is a tweet from Shams Charania. The headline here is Isaiah Stewart. You see it there. He has a 7-game suspension. Miles Bridges with 4 games. Diabate 4 games. Jalen Duren 2 games. So that is the breakdown now of the suspensions. And Isaiah Stewart there, speaking of the Pistons at the top with 7 games, you'd have to assume because he's a multi-time offender here in terms of a fight and being ejected.
I hate when I see this person should get that amount of games. You should suspend him for this amount of games. Because there's no standard. You're just out here throwing out a wild amount of games because it don't affect you. Don't affect your team. It don't affect your pockets. So people go up there and they get their microphone and they throw out these extreme amount of games. And then they run and say, the NBA's off. But you just threw the extreme amount of games for this little fight. NBA soft. These guys soft. The game's too nice. You get guys saying that. The game's too nice, but then when you get to fighting, they're like, this dude should be out the league. Like, pick a side and stay there. Man, these guys jump ship more than college players in the NIL era. Pick a side and stay.
So I'm pretty sure you all are well aware of what just recently went down in the NBA, as the Pistons and Hornets had a very intense brawl on the basketball court, and now all of the usual suspects are talking about it, like ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, and of course Draymond Green on his own channel when he finds time between games. Now, suspensions have been handed out, and some are arguing that they're too strong, some are arguing that they're not strong enough, but the fact of the matter is that everyone has an opinion on this. The part of it that caught my attention and that made me want to make this video was what Draymond had to say that you guys just recently saw in the intro of this video. I felt like I should probably speak on it, given the fact that I am known as one of the old heads of YouTube. I talk a lot about 80s and 90s basketball, and Draymond kind of referenced that in his podcast. What Draymond said is honestly one of my biggest pet peeves when people talk about the internet. I don't think he's analyzing and studying specific accounts when he's talking about people flipping and refusing to pick a side. The internet has billions of people on it. You could see a vocal demographic screaming for one thing, and then another vocal demographic screaming for the exact opposite. When people are claiming that the modern NBA is soft, I think 90% of the time they're not claiming that what we need is more fighting. Usually they're talking about the lack of hand checking, or that there needs to be more physicality, or that they shouldn't be so quick to hand out flagrant fouls. For goodness sake, even in the 1980s, when the Detroit Pistons were making 3 straight trips to the NBA Finals, basically no one outside of Detroit liked that team. It's one thing to play physical, it's one thing to be aggressive, and it's another thing to be extremely competitive and trash talk. But the Pistons went beyond that. They were out to hurt players. They reveled in the fact that they were villains. They were looking for a fight. And it seemed like every other night, they were getting one. Now, I could already hear it in the comments. I know some people are begging for the return of that kind of basketball and are probably loving the fact that this brawl just went down. But even though those people exist, I do believe they're the minority. Listen, I've been extremely consistent on this. I do think the modern NBA is soft. And do the players have some blame for that? Absolutely. But I have always said that the majority of the blame falls on the commissioner, and a lot of people are starting to agree with me on this. Tanking has got out of control in the NBA, and we're seeing that on full display this season. Load management has been an issue forever, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. When Adam Silver first took over as the NBA's commissioner in the early 2010s, he said one of the first things he was going to crack down on was the aspect of flopping. And let me ask you guys, since the early 2010s, has that got better or worse? It's definitely gotten worse. Remember when they said they were going to fine players, give them technical fouls, or maybe even suspensions for flopping? Well, now we're not just seeing flopping on defense, but now we're seeing it on offense. And honestly, it might be even worse at this point on offense, with guys like Luka and SGA doing it basically every night. We literally have NBA players talking about how they don't want to try on All-Star Weekend because they're, quote, tired. They'll take millions and millions of dollars and live incredibly lavish lives in this very tough economy, enjoying the fact that they are rich because the fans show up to watch them while not even playing and in some cases not even trying. Those are the aspects that make a lot of people my age and even older than me call the current NBA soft. And it's not because guys aren't throwing enough punches. We currently have NBA players, analysts, and even some YouTubers whining about the fact that the 65 game minimum rule exists. Because guys should be paid for not even playing. Guys should be rewarded for not even participating, apparently. That's not how the real world works. If I don't go to work, I don't get paid, unless I use my 2 weeks PTO that is good for once a year. Yet these guys want to make all of their money and win all of their awards while not participating in over a quarter's worth of the games. Please, explain to me how that isn't soft. Now let me make this abundantly clear. You can still be tough and have class. I'm not asking for players to play physically and then go out there and start punching each other. I'm not asking for every sort of instance of trash talking to ultimately lead into a scuffle. And one thing that's also worth clarifying is not every player in the NBA today is soft. You still got a lot of guys who are out there playing the majority of the games, and I tell you what, a guy like Draymond Green would do very, very well in a Detroit Pistons uniform in the 1980s. Honestly, he'd fit right in, and I could see him being in a competition with Bill Laimbeer for the title of the dirtiest player on the team. And honestly, at that point in time, they'd both probably take pride in that. So I don't know, guys. Maybe it's just me. I mean, Draymond Green was just yapping into a mic while doing his podcast, so that's what I'm doing here as well. But I gotta be honest, as someone who is usually seen as one of the representatives of the old head former generation of basketball fans, I really get frustrated when people try to misrepresent our points in order to make us look dumb and try to dunk on us. Very few people are saying that we need more fights in the NBA. How about just more players who are actually participating in the games? How about a little less flopping? How about just a little bit more trying on All-Star Weekend? Is that really too much to ask? Obviously it's not, and I for one will not be gaslit into thinking that I am asking for too much and that I'm, quote, trying to play both sides. So anyway, those are just my opinions on the matter. What are yours? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much to the members for supporting the channel. You are really helping me get through these tough algorithm changes. And to everyone in general, thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.